G'day, Christina.
Hi.
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 Hello.
How's it going?
It's going. It's going so fast. We only have, what is it now, 11 days until Christmas? Is that right?
It's always two weeks from my birthday. So 2
it
weeks
was
from
already your
December
birthday.
11th. Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
14 days from the 11th. Can you do the math?
No.
Maybe
I
Courtney
cannot do
can.
math. In fact, I just had a serious issue with math yesterday because I've been on John's case for like weeks because I took down all the old drapes in our house. What does that sound?
That's this.
All right.
Should I crinkle paper?
No, it's okay. So I took down all these old, horrible, like 1960s goldenrod drapes in our living room, and they're rusty old tracks that they were on.
Yeah.
And I threw them away. Well, I didn't throw them away. I gave them to my parents for their hunting camp, but whatever.
Okay.
They're gone now.
Yep.
And I made all these beautiful new drapes, and I ordered online new curtain rods, and I measured the windows carefully, but, you know, math, numbers, foreign language, doesn't, Anyway, I measured them exactly, and I get them here, and I put the one up, or I start to put the one up over our French doors.
No.
And it's so much too long that it can't even fit in the space, and I got really frustrated. And I looked at the box, and I had ordered the right size. Like, I remeasured, and I said, what did I do?
Yeah.
I ordered the right size. They sent me the wrong size. So that was...
Thank goodness.
That was not my issue.
Yep.
But anyway, I said, whatever. Now I have all these 6 other windows with smaller curtain rods. And I've been on John's case for weeks to help me hang them because he doesn't want me to use the drill gun in our woodwork by myself in case, you know, because I am prone to doing I just like to get things done. So I don't do things sometimes well. I just do them.
Yes.
So he was like, I will hang these brackets. And it was weeks and weeks. And finally yesterday I was so excited because we were going to hang the new brackets and the curtain rods. And every one of them is too big. And this time it was me. I measured wrong. Like, one was ordered, one came wrong, and then the rest don't fit because they're way too big. And you'd think too big would be okay, but it's not okay in our case.
What do they look like?
They're just black with black balls on the end.
So it's like a professional looking curtain rod.
Yeah,
it's not like a dowel that you can cut.
No. They're
That'll
made of
teach
some
ya.
sort of like metal.
You should just go with dowels.
I actually later wanted to because I looked around all the wood in my living room and I said, you know, a nice stained dowel would look nicer than these black metal ones. Yep. But I wanted something kind of colonial looking.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, so now I'm super disappointed because nothing fits. None
Can you
fit.
fix it? Can you fix that?
No, I already wrote a horrible scathing review for the one that was too long. And now none of them fit and I feel like a jerk. I can't go back and write a review because this was my error.
Well, just listen to this.
Oh, that makes me feel so much better.
That's kind of a cure-all. If you feel bad, just crinkle paper.
There's going to be a lot of crinkly paper coming up over the next few weeks.
Yeah, and what's
of it.
even better, just take it to your cats and do it in your cat's ears.
My
Because they love it so much.
Made me super mad today because...
Why?
All right, well, before I came here, I walked through the living room and I saw what looked like... I thought somebody had dropped a little pile of hay on the rug, and so I reached down to pick it up, and it was actually a balled up piece of cat throw up because the cat had eaten hay.
Oh.
I mean, it was in one piece, and it did come up in my hand, and I was able to throw it into the like ashtray thing of our stove, but it was disgusting.
We were doing the same thing at the same time.
Picked up cat throw up.
I heard cat throw up like in the morning when I was still asleep. Whoa. And so I just remembered 2 hours later.
I didn't sleep.
Because I have like a GPS system in my head for
where the
locating where it's coming from and trying to figure out what they threw up on.
Yeah.
So it wasn't too bad.
Mine just don't throw up that often, but they really love to munch on hay and stuff when it comes in on our clothes.
That's okay.
And then they throw it up. They haven't learned that
they
it's
can
not a good
do that.
thing to eat.
Let them live out their lives with some freedom.
I don't want to
live free or die.
Throw up.
Did you ever think why New Hampshire has so much of a better motto than Vermont? I mean, why did they get live free or die? We got the Green Mountain State. Which is more interesting?
Yeah, but
which has more like passion?
New Hampshire is like mullets and
like hairstyle.
They don't wear and they don't wear helmets on motorcycles and stuff. I mean, maybe that's to keep their mullet. Nice.
No, that's really kind of. I think that's freedom.
I mean, whatever. Do what you want, but they sometimes take it the wrong way. And they use it to be free to be jerky. I mean, I guess you can be free to be jerky if you want, but I wish they wouldn't want to.
Yeah.
Be nice.
Well, I can see you're just feeling down about stuff.
No, I just didn't get very much sleep.
But wait,
so I'm a little down. I'll try to perk. I'll perk.
I have something that I'm down on today.
What?
I'm down on kale this week.
Oh, that's because you were down on kale last week because didn't Sabra choke on some?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
that was part of it.
We were talking about it and how scary that must have been.
But I just had a revelation today. I said I got to put it in soup, like chop it up really small and put it in soup.
Why do you have to?
To be a good person.
See, if people are mistaking kale for being a good person, and you don't have to do that. There's lots of other ways other than kale.
How?
That you can be a good person.
How? Tell me. Tell me, Emily, how?
Spinach. Spinach is less dangerous than kale. And I feel like spinach makes you just as good of a person as kale does.
Okay.
Kale is a fad, like sloths and llamas.
Hold on. That's not accurate. Mm-hmm. I mean, it is and it isn't because kale.
It's a long time fad, though.
No, but kale actually grows really well in Vermont at this time of year. So it's nice to have some stuff that's green, that's growing, because you can get it all the time. You can just get as much as you want. You could fill up your whole kitchen with it if you wanted.
Don't like the Brussels sprouts grow really late too? I always see them sticking up in frozen fields.
Yeah,
I don't love those though.
I love them.
I love Brussels sprouts?
Yeah. Oh, God,
They have such a musky taste.
No, you put butter and maple syrup. You cook them.
But I don't like maple syrup.
Just a little bit brown.
Although
Do you like sugar? You like Fruit Loops, so you like sugar. Why did you put Fruit Loops on it?
No, that sounds terrible. Now your crinkly paper has lost its crinkle. It's all soft.
Well, that's the next phase. It's a different sound.
Now it's like
that's
fabric
soft
almost.
paper. And it's going to probably turn into I don't know. We'll find out because I'm going to keep crinkling it for the whole show.
It's going to turn into like pocket lint in a minute because that's what pocket lint basically is.
Is that a thing? Pocket lint.
Yes.
Have you said that before ever in your life?
Yes.
Pocket lint?
It's like said that. Also the stuff you take out of the dryer is like pocket lint, but in a dryer.
God. I don't know.
Anyway.
Yeah, just you impress me.
Tell me about your birthday day. What happened?
Okay. Let's see. I went to Susan's for dinner, and
cool.
Susan made creamed leeks.
Oh, that sounds nice.
It was so good. It's so easy to make. You want to know how to make it? You parboil.
Yes.
Leeks.
Did she cream them with like potatoes or anything? Because I think you're supposed to.
No, it's so much easier than that. It's so quick.
I think leeks on their own might be a little too oniony.
No.
But I don't like onions. Or Brussels sprouts. Or maple syrup.
Just take a chill pill right now, okay?
All right. I've chilled.
Okay, so parboil.
Okay, yes.
And you chop them up and you put them into the little baking dish, and then you cover them with cream and Parmesan cheese, and that's it.
That does sound nice.
All you got to do, and you bake it, and then you eat it with fresh baked bread. She had the fresh baked bread.
You know what I haven't had in a long time, which I need to make, is this cheese spinach artichoke. You just cook them or saute them up and mash it together, and then you spread it on fresh baked bread. Yeah. Fresh
it's a tongue twister.
Bread.
Unique New York.
What was I saying before? Fresh baked bread.
Can you say unique New York?
You make me do this all the time.
I know,
unique
but
New
you
York.
haven't
yes,
got. You haven't got. You've.
I always get that one. That one's fine.
No, we'll just do it 3 times.
Unique New York. Unique New York. Unique New York. That one doesn't
bother me.
Well,
I think it's impressive because people listening probably can't do it.
For some reason, did get me there.
Try that.
Anyway.
Try it 3 times. Fresh baked bread.
Fresh baked bread. Fresh baked bread. Fresh baked bread.
I was doing tongue twisters at a tea party this week. Do you know the tea party that I went to at the Hubbleshire farm?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, Tom was there. Tom, the children's book author, and.
Which Tom?
I can never remember his last name, but he's a children's book author.
No.
I tried to Google. I Googled Tom, children's book author, Chelsea, Vermont, and nothing came up. Which was...
Well, Google kind of leaves a lot of us in the lurch, I gotta say.
Well, I'll figure it out. But he hadn't heard Unique New York. I stumped him on that. I mean, a children's book author, you would expect to know like all the tongue twisters. He hadn't heard Bitty Botter either.
I somewhere have an amazing book of tongue twisters that was, I think, illustrated by Edward Gorey, and it was really good. And where did it go?
Oh, you'll never find it. You have too many books.
I know.
You can't find it. But John has them sectioned off by subject. So
this was mine, so we probably got rid of it. It was like
he doesn't get rid of your books.
He does. Whenever I tell him to get rid of books, I go and I find my books in the giveaway box, and I'm like, that's not what I meant. Like I have a tiny fraction of books.
That's just to get back at you.
It's like
is. You want us to get rid of books, then here, get rid of your own books.
Whenever I complain about the messiness of the house, he points at my clothes or something. And I'm like, not the problem here. Anyway.
Okay.
There was a whole chapter on different versions of Mary Had a Little Lamb. Like mean ones, you wouldn't like it because it was
It was nasty.
It was Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Oh,
her father shot it dead, and so it went to school with her between two chunks of bread. And there was a whole bunch of variations.
That's Edward Gorey. Yeah, that makes. I do like him though. I think he's kind of cool.
He's kind of sick and dark, but in a fun way.
In a fun, fanciful way. In a lighthearted, morbid sort of blend. Yeah,
I know. I scoped out a really good spot for us to take our next batch of promotional photos to.
Where?
But we need it to snow first so we can get to it on skis because it's deep in the forest.
Yeah.
There's a dead car surrounded by big trees in our woods.
Is it enough of a dead car?
Oh, it's.
How much of a dead car is left of it? No, I know it's dead if it's in the middle, but how much of the car is still like intact and not?
It's recognizable as a car.
You can sit inside it, or
no, because its roof kind of is crushed a little by other.
Well, how would we pose with?
I think we would go on top of it, maybe. I don't know. I'll
see if we went to a junkyard, we'd have more options.
We would, but
because just having
people who run junkyards aren't very nice about people climbing around in their junkyards.
Well, we could find a junkyard.
I don't know. We passed a couple this week, and I said, "What about that?" And John said, "Oh, I've heard that guy's really not nice." So,
okay.
Anybody out there who has a junkyard, we have a need.
Yeah, we need to do a photo shoot. We could do it next to my Subaru.
I hate that. It's too soon. It's not considered.
Yeah, I hate how that car looks.
Yet. Yeah,
it would be a horrible.
I have a dead Subaru too.
Experience.
We could put our dead Subarus together.
I can't move mine.
Yeah, I can't move mine either. Never mind.
That's not going to work. They're dead. They're just dead as doornails.
Away from each other. It's so sad.
Yeah, totally.
Anyway.
So the tea party was really quite fun.
That's cool.
Except I was terrified going in. I was really terrified.
I don't do well at parties either, but you wouldn't really know it when I get there because I'm super good at faking it. Like I have to, and I'm okay at it. But
I was trying to fake
stressful.
it. I was trying to fake it, and I wasn't faking it very well. So I just stayed, in the entryway. Luckily, the entryway was like the kitchen. Because I tried coming in the front door and I got like shooed away because they didn't want people bringing salt in on the rugs because they had these she has these incredible rugs that rugs to die for. That's the category.
Yes.
So had to come in through the what do you call it, the entrance where the help comes in, the hired help. Well, I am the hired help. That's because I am the gardener at the. That's
we
why
can't even get in our front door.
I got invited for free.
That's
you had
cool.
to pay, like, people, if you just went to that and you were a regular person and you weren't hired help, then you'd have to pay $25 to go to it. And I got in free. So
we got invited to go to a bunch of those kinds of things, but they're not free. There's so much money that we're not going to any of them.
Well, 25's a deal, I think.
25 is a deal. 25 I think the cheapest whatever ball thing we were invited to this year was like $85 a person. And I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, and I did meet some cool people.
Fine.
Cool. Once I got assimilated. Tom helped me assimilate a little bit.
Good.
He said, I'll introduce you to Bobby Gosh. So he took me in to introduce me to Bobby Gosh, and but Bobby was talking antiques with an antique dealer. And I sort of tried to edge in on that. I had nothing to say, though. So it's hard to involve yourself in a conversation that, like, I didn't have any qualms about butting in, but I literally had nothing to say about antiques.
That's tricky.
So I had to butt out. I did. I took out my iPhone in this really rude way and went and took a picture of the Christmas tree, which you saw on Facebook.
I think that's fine.
I did it. I just said, make your energy super neutral. Nobody's going to take offense to you getting up and leaving a conversation about antiques. Right?
No.
Yeah. So it worked out. So then what happened? Let's see. Then somebody came up and said, oh, the former poet laureate of Maine is sitting over there.
Ooh. That is cool.
That was kind of cool. I thought, what? What's he doing here? I just wrote a poetry book. How could that possibly be possible?
Did Ed Koren just get it for Vermont?
No.
Because
it's a woman. It's a woman who wrote a book called.
He got something laureate though. What did he get? There's so many laureates.
Cartoon laureate. He's the cartoon laureate.
I know, but how is that a thing? It just the two words don't go together.
You can put any two words together that you want.
I know, Christina, but just
try it sometime. Just take two
words
I don't
think
that
Ed
totally
deserved
don't.
That, but I just can't figure out why that's a thing exactly. Yeah. Oh no, I'm about to do it, Paul. I was about to say that's a thing.
I think it's fine to say it. I don't think there's anything wrong with saying it's a thing. Especially if it's our trademark. We don't want to stop saying it.
Right, but we shouldn't have trademarks that we didn't know about.
Well, let's see if we can just do it anyway.
Speaking of curtains, I hate the curtains in this.
Speaking of curtains.
I know, I was a while ago.
You actually called them drapes, which
that's
made me
what
laugh.
they were called in the like horrible, 60s suburban type of.
Who says drapes anymore?
I don't know, but that's what was in my house. Like drapes on little tracks.
You had drapes, but
tracks.
You bought curtains.
They made little metal skitching noises when you shut them.
What did you buy? Did you buy drapes?
Curtains. No, I didn't buy curtains. I made curtains and I bought curtain rods. No more drapes, no more tracks, no more little pointy stabby things that hook them to the tracks.
You bought you made the curtains? I thought you said they came too long.
No. The curtain rods came too long.
No, you said the curtains were too long.
No, the curtain rods were too long. No, the curtains themselves can be any length you want as long as they go below the... I didn't say the curtains.
Said.
I made the curtains. I made the curtains out of old drop cloths.
And you made them too...
were already curtains in my barn, but the bottom got mildewed, so I cut that part off and sewed them again to be for my house.
I'm going to listen back to the show.
Okay, I don't think... maybe I said curtains, but I meant curtain rods.
You meant drapes.
I didn't mean drapes. Hated those drapes. They were pleated. They were pleated tweed.
God, I want to see them.
Faded, mildewed, horrible, goldenrod.
Perfect for your parents'
dust
hunting
collecting,
camp.
Disgusting lined drapes on rusty metal tracks.
Wow, so you feel good now. You feel...
Well, I don't because nothing... I've only got one hanging at the moment and none of the rest can hang because they don't fit. Because we have all these stinking built-in bookcases that cram right up against the window, so you can't have long, sticky-outy curtain rods. They have to actually be this right size for the window. They can't overhang.
You're saying all the stuff, and I'm trying to visualize it. I'm having really... It's a really strange...
Do you have curtains in your house?
No, I don't.
No. I'm okay with not having them. But
listen, this is so exciting.
Now I'm on this curtain fix.
One time somebody said something bad about my well, they didn't really say it bad about my Airbnb.
Were these the people who were angry that there were cluster flies?
It was actually the same nationality of a person. And I won't say which nationality of person. I don't want to besmirch the person, but I think perhaps this nationality is the least comfortable in my type of environment, because this person said...
city-dwelling type of nationality?
Possibly. That could be the problem.
Because you can't escape cluster flies in a rural area at certain times of the year.
But that was years ago.
Right.
It was this year it was that I didn't have curtains.
But there's nothing on the other side of the window to need curtains
I know there's some cows.
Do you think some people feel uncomfortable with cows looking at them?
I do. I do. If you're in your nightgown and you're just in a strange place and there's no curtains and you're just walking around, you don't really know if there's cows. I mean, they wouldn't know. I think they came at night, so they didn't know there was cows out there. They didn't know what was out there. Could have been some New Hampshireites out there.
So maybe they... Here comes the train.
Okay.
Let me get to the window. Oh my God, it's coming fast.
I hope it's longer this week. It was so short last week. Here it comes. Shh. That one made me sad for some reason.
That one didn't do much.
Always brings up a different emotion.
I did notice how icy that ball field is out there, though. It's like a full-on skating rink.
Yeah,
holy cow!
Like my driveway.
People could play hockey instead of soccer over there.
Okay, we got to go to a song.
Okay.
I have Michael Jermyn singing "Suitcase Full of Denial," and
I think I know him.
I'm sure you do. He's, I like to play I like to play music from people that we know.
Is it Jermyn or Jermaine?
Jermyn.
Is it with a J or a G?
J, I think. J.
Is he a photographer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know him.
Okay.
He was at my house photographing some trees this summer.
Oh, cool. Here it is.
Okay.
Remember when you said you didn't want to live anymore? Lying on your bed with your Dylan records out on the floor. A little bit of luck, some cheap California wine. You're sick of being stuck, withering on the vine. So now you're on the road with a suitcase full of denial. Another episode with you going in and out of style. You wanna take a flight, so you headed out over Australia, where every other night no one's ever gonna fail ya. I heard a rumor, I was hoping that it wasn't true. You can spare the humor, baby, nothing ever sticks to you. No, nothing ever sticks to you. You're on your own, your sister's on the radio. Your brother's never home, he's a roadie in a traveling show. The only way to tell is by putting you on the spot. You thought you had a little, but you really did have a lot. I'll save the last one for you, baby, now you're on your own. You can go the distance, but you're never really far from home. No, you're never really far from home. You wanted me to understand that any time of year, depending on the lay of the land, the news is going out and it's headed out over the wire. But it doesn't matter now, 'cause you ain't gonna get any higher. I heard a rumor, I was hoping that it wasn't true. You can spare the humor, baby, nothing ever sticks to you. No, no, nothing ever sticks to you. I'll save the last one for you, baby, now you're on your own. You can go the distance, but you're never really far from home. No, no, you're never really far from home. No, no, you're never really far from home. La la la, really la la la, really la 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 la, really la la, really la 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 la, really la la, really la 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 fa la 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 la, really la la la, really la 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 fa la la.
That was Michael Jermyn.
Ooh. Oh, goodness.
And so last night, I took a friend to a talk at the library in Randolph.
Oh.
A book talk. Geza. I can't say his last name, but his first name is Geza.
Oh, yeah.
G-E-Z-A.
Yes.
Okay, so my friend's 92. So I picked her up, and we went over to the library, and it was great talk. It was like, I don't know, an hour and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
And we got to the end, and she turned to me, and she kind of whispered, "What did he talk about?" She couldn't hear him because his voice was kind of low and there was no microphone, so she didn't hear a word of it. But she, you get to be that age, you get to be
don't
so
care.
Well, you get to be so patient. What are you going to do?
My grandmother came to my son's musical, and she's 90 and also hearing issues, and she sat there for the 2 or 3 hours that we were there. We bought her a cushion for her butt because she doesn't like to sit on hard seats for a long time, but sat there, watched the whole thing, and then later we found out she hadn't heard a word. Nothing. But she was like, but everyone was just so beautiful. They all were just so beautiful, and you did a wonderful job, Eli. And I was like, you don't know. You couldn't even hear anything.
But it was the same kind of problem up at the Chelsea Town Hall when my kids used to do shows.
Oh, God, yes.
And the acoustics are so bad
really
there.
Bad in there. What's with that?
I know I've wanted to give it some kind of acoustical treatment my whole life, but it needs a makeover.
Tunbridge Town Hall's pretty good.
It's so echoey that you can't really understand anything that your kids are saying, so you have to just be interested in the costumes, I guess.
And watching their cute little faces.
Cute little faces.
I know. It's very silly. You think that when people were designing halls that would maybe, play into the design a little bit.
Well, they wanted it to be loud. I think they didn't.
It's loud.
Yeah. Let's see. It sounds like
I had to teach a dance block in there once with just like a dozen kids, and it was so bad. Just trying to hear that, like they would get so hyped up so quickly because if anybody was chattering, it was just this like
it's awful.
Bouncing around of noise and
so unpleasant.
I had to shout over it to be heard, and then it just made everybody even more wound up. There's a weird energy about that kind of sound. That makes you feel a little on edge.
Yes. Yeah. It's a lot of reflection, many reflections going back and forth from hard walls.
I do like the Tunbridge Town Hall, though. It has some good...
It's better.
It has some good sound.
Yeah. So I had a dream last night. I know you love to hear about my dreams.
Okay,
You're going to be amazed at this one.
My dreams just mimicked the anxiety I felt in my life all night. And then I wake up and I was in the exact same place. So it wasn't really... I don't know if I was dreaming. Maybe I was just awake.
Uh-huh.
So,
well,
okay,
I actually had a dream that I was in a hotel room with Donald Trump.
Oh, gross.
Well,
like,
he was.
What do you mean in a hotel room?
He was
like,
harmless.
You were in bed with him, or
no,
you're just like in a...
I'm not sure. There was 3 people. There was a third person with us, and I'm not quite sure why we were in a hotel room together. But he was very harmless and friendly. It was just odd, and yes, and then somebody that you and I know, was chasing me and trying to give me a free guitar. And I was running away and trying to hide. I didn't want him to find me, but I saw him on his way to give me this free guitar, and I ran into the woods to hide behind a tree. So.
I can see lots of symbolism there.
Yeah.
That one makes sense.
Yeah.
The Donald Trump in your hotel room one list, so...
It's odd. It's odd when you encounter such a specific historical
figure. You went to seduce
figure.
and poison him or something? Like maybe what...
No, but I was friendly. I didn't have animosity in the dream. It was just like he was just a nice person, which I don't know.
Why would you even dream that?
I don't know. I don't know. And he didn't even look orange. He just looked kind of normal, like a normal person.
Maybe it wasn't him. Maybe it was his like body double or something. Who I'm sure is probably a nice person.
No, that's it. Donald Trump probably has a walk-in. You know what that is? Like when a spirit walks into a body and pushes out the real thing.
Yeah.
So maybe I was with the real Donald Trump, but we're having to put up with the walk-in. Actually,
I don't know. I feel like I can't remember what movie it was on, but presidents usually do have like body doubles, right? For really high,
like stuntmen.
Yeah. But some of them look so distinctive. I can't imagine you could find a really proper doppelganger for a bunch of our presidents.
Yeah, we've had some.
Do you think
fun.
that's
I'm
gonna say it, Paul. Do you think that's a thing? I'm just wondering. Like, is it really a thing? I saw it in some movie. Like they were doing like auditions for the body double for some president in some movie, and I wondered if that's actually a thing. I'm just curious. I'm sure I'll find out before the show is over.
Yeah, I think it's a thing.
You really do?
Yeah, I do. Because they have all these things that we think are possible are actually possible.
I know.
Because they've trained us to shoot low. Like, they give us all these ideas and they call it fiction or science fiction, but the stuff actually exists. Because how would you think it up if it wasn't real?
Oh, I saw my twin once in, like, Ames, back when there was an Ames, the department store.
I remember Ames.
And they were just leaving, and it was so freaky. I wanted to, like, chase them down and just be like, did you notice that we look identical? It's just so weird.
Yeah.
Because I have a face. It doesn't look like a lot of faces.
Yes, that's interesting. But you've never seen her again.
No. And you'd think maybe she was vaguely local if she was in Ames. I mean,
I'll keep my lookout for her.
Well, maybe now that we're older, we don't look alike anymore. Maybe your doppelganger only matches you for like one specific moment in life, and then you age differently.
I don't know.
I used to look identical to this actress, Megan Follows, who played Anne of Green Gables, which I always loved that movie. Oh. But then as we've aged, we don't look the same anymore. You would think that if somebody looked like an identical person at one point in their life, they would continue, but they don't actually. Wow. Genetics play in different time periods in your life, I guess, and you can look different ways. But
yeah.
You look I've always thought that you look like a much younger version of my friend Susie, who passed away a couple years ago. Like, I always thought that, like, you could be her child.
You'll have to show me a picture.
Yeah.
Of her younger.
I have to, I'll have to show you. I do actually.
Because that's interesting.
I'd seen some in her house, and then at her funeral service, they had lots and lots of pictures, and I was like, I knew it. I looked at her and I said, it's Christina.
Yeah, because I've met her.
Yeah.
But she, it didn't.
And she denied it too. She was like, I've never been that beautiful. When she confronted me later, I was like, that was the person I said that you look just like.
Oh,
and
interesting.
She was like, oh, I'd never looked that beautiful. So.
Oh, it's
nice
nice
of
her
Susie,
to
she
say,
looks just like you.
Cool.
Would have, yeah.
Huh. Well, I had this really strange problem today on Facebook.
What?
All of a sudden, out of the blue, my whole page started to like show up in German.
Oh, yeah.
That ever happened to you?
Yes. And it shows up in a weird different format sometimes. Like, it's all skinny and narrow, and I can't find the edges anymore. I think that's not you. I think just Facebook is like having some sort of
Well, I wondered if I started to Google it because I thought maybe I'd been hacked. But I don't think I was hacked because there's a very easy fix to it once you figure it out.
Yeah, it seems like if you're a hacker, you might want to set your sights a little higher than just turning people's page to Jermyn. Whoopity-doo!
Well, it does send you into a little bit of a panic. You know, it just is. It's like alternate universe kind of feeling that you get. Like, you know, the Mandela effect. Like, oh, was Facebook always in German? And I just didn't notice.
But no,
there's a language button in the right.
Oh.
Like, look down at the.
You just monkeyed with it somehow. That's what happened.
But you have to, in order to change it back, it was like a 2-step process. So I first had to click on the language, and then it asked you a second question, like, do you really want to switch? Like, it asked me in German, do you really want to switch to English? And I just thought, well, I think that's what that must say, so I'm going to answer yes.
Did it, when it was in German, did posts that people had put on your page, were they translated into German?
No.
They were still in English?
Yeah.
But your directions and stuff were in German. Okay,
everything
I wondered
was in
about
German.
that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when people post, you can hit that little translate button and have it switch to...
Yeah, it wasn't like
whatever.
That. Right.
Huh.
No.
I've never messed around with it. I don't really know how it works.
It's just a funny day. I mean, it was a funny start to the day.
You're not even German.
No, I don't really have...
I'm not German.
No.
I've got no German in me.
Yeah, I don't think I do, but... And I was making coffee this morning, the coffee ritual.
Yes.
And you know how you put I put the coffee into the filter, and then I pour the hot water in, and then just as I was like moving my tea kettle back to the stove, it knocked the whole thing over onto the floor.
Oh my God.
Not the coffee, just the filter. So it was like a spray of boiling hot coffee grounds all over the kitchen floor.
Well, actually, that's good. Coffee grounds are a good cleaning
for your like facial cleanser.
No.
Like what do you call that?
I was telling you.
What do you call that?
Toner? Exfoliate?
That's what I mean.
Well, on your floor, coffee grounds, you can spread wet coffee grounds on your floors and then sweep them up. No, you can't.
No, you're just making this up.
Okay,
that's
exactly
at the
Tunbridge Fair, when I work in the Colonial Kitchen, and then all these people walk through our big museum. We go and gather later all the coffee grounds from the hot coffee booths all over the fair. No. And then you pour these 5-gallon buckets of moist coffee grounds all over the floor, and then you sweep them up, and that makes the dust not billow, and it smells good. It's some sort of cleaning thing. It's a cleaning trick that people do.
You're so much smarter than me.
No, I told you this before.
You didn't.
Yes, we've had this exact same conversation.
My whole life, I never heard
6 months ago, or whenever after the fair was over. No. I literally said this all to you.
No, because it's not a thing.
It's a thing.
Not a thing.
It's a thing. Coffee grounds can be used for lots of stuff. I think there's some plant that likes them too.
Well, it's a good compost ingredient, I think.
I feel like you can bury your fingernails in some other kind of plant, and they love that too.
What? Yeah. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
Stuff that plants like. Roses love banana peels.
You mean cut fingernails? Like cut your fingernails into your plant?
I guess.
How rude.
I don't.
I just find that.
I don't know, Christina.
Well, it's like maybe horses' hooves. I can see your point. Horses' hooves have good, like dogs like to eat those when you, like if you ever go with a horseshoer, because I have dated so many horseshoers.
Weird.
Yeah, like 3.
Well, there's a bunch around here.
Well, not around here.
I'm related personally to like 4 of them, so.
Well, we both have a thing.
I don't have a thing. I'm related to them. I didn't date them. I didn't say I dated them.
Well, it's a thing though.
It's a thing.
I mean, we're talking about a thing.
When you live in an area where there's more horses, there's bound to be more horseshoers. That's just the way it goes.
Well,
but yes, dogs do love to eat them, but sometimes they throw them back up again. It's a very bad smell. Horses' hooves have a very bad smell.
That's true.
Gotta say.
Yeah. Well, it's time for another song.
Well, you better do it then.
Whoa. Let's see. What do we have up here? We have Louis Franco.
I don't know that person. Look at this. I didn't even make a list today, and this is just stellar programming coming to you here on 11th Hour Radio, because we forgot to introduce the show before.
Yeah, just coming right off the top of our heads.
It's amazing.
Okay, this goes with the holiday season. It's called Desperate Buyers. So here we go.
watching derivatives. I made a killing just being willing to take what the market gives. I take the drinks, I take the juice, I take the chance of finding greater foods. There's always someone willing to pay just for the thought of riches someday. Pulls and desire sends the price higher, fills this world with desperate buyers. My Lexus, time for my next success. I need a new one, but nothing's doing. I'll have to pay for sex. Sex for free is better, I guess. Sex for money costs me much less. Except when I'm feeling lonely and bitter, I spend a fortune just to be with her. Goals and desire sends the price higher, makes me one more desperate buyer. Who can tell me what they really want? Who can tell me what I really need? Tell me what they really want. Who can tell me?
Franco, very, very good writer of humorous material.
Yeah.
He's one of a kind, that Lewis.
Father-in-law paid me a very nice compliment this week. He said, "You're a damn good writer. Just damn good."
Who said that?
My 96-year-old father-in-law.
Fantastic.
But
he's right.
I was very flattered because he reads everything. He's a reader. And so for him to compliment, and he's sometimes a kind of grouchy, curmudgeon-y person who doesn't just go around, complimenting people. So nice. I felt very warm and glowy from his compliment. That was
fantastic.
Super nice of him.
It's nice to get those compliments sometimes, isn't it?
Especially from grumpy people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I always felt better when I worked at the museum. These people would come in and they'd just be a bear the whole time. They just kind of huff and sniff at all your things that you thought they were going to like the most. And at the end of the tour, they'd be like, "That's the best tour I ever had." And you'd be like, "What?"
Yeah.
But it was a weird, almost emotional, abusive situation where they made you feel bad so that then you'd feel way better.
It's like an abuse.
So it's an interesting situation that happened quite a bit too.
Oh, yeah.
People would always kind of give me a hard time for a while. I mean, they'd fuss about maybe that they thought it cost too much, and they'd fuss that the tour didn't start right when they wanted the tour to start, and they'd fuss that they had to put the little protective booties on and fuss and fuss and fuss and fuss. And then at the end, then they'd shoot you something really nice, and you'd feel like, overwhelmed.
That totally describes the people that I've dated in my life.
Yeah, it describes a lot
except
of
for
people,
Steve
actually.
Brown. I never like to include him, and Bela wasn't like that either. There's some exceptions of people who are actually nice to me.
Yeah. I dated a couple nice people too. But that's the thing though. The people that you date that are nice, you remain friends with because they were friends when you dated them. And that's like,
yes,
it worked.
Right.
It totally worked.
That's
and it's
it.
fine.
But of course you don't want to, well.
If you have the kind of breakup where you don't really ever want to speak to them again, okay, they probably weren't a nice person. There's some reason that you can't continue to be friends.
I know. It's true.
Anyway.
And it's sad when you don't marry somebody who's a friend. Yeah, but sometimes you can't recognize it at first.
No.
Because mostly because of that love bombing thing. I fell for that.
I so fell for
it. I'm so ashamed of myself.
Weird. I fell for it and it wasn't even really there. I actually talked myself into it being love bombing and there wasn't any.
No, I got seriously love bombed. And you at the moment you think, well, this is a little excessive. This person shouldn't be saying I love you like every 5 minutes and like
I never
looking worshipfully into my eyes. There's just something a little off about this, but you say, "What? But I'll take it. I'll take it." It's been, I've just spent 10 years raising children by myself. I'll take a little love bombing. What the heck? How bad can it? What kind of trouble could this possibly get me into? So live and learn. But so I have a couple questions for you.
All right.
Well, if you were going to give someone a really unusual Christmas gift, what would it be?
Probably a parrot or a... No, that would not be a popular gift. Unusual? Yeah. Are you thinking of like... Okay. Who are you trying to give this to?
I'm not going to go into all these specifics.
Well, what's unusual to some, maybe not unusual to others.
I'm not asking you to give it to a particular person.
My first instinct is always to give somebody something alive, but that's not ever a good idea. Like, don't anybody do that ever.
Yeah. I've thought about giving somebody a kitten. My friend
doesn't that just seem like the best thing to give?
Yeah, but my friend who's 92.
That to work.
Exactly, but she doesn't have a dog anymore because she can't handle walking the dog.
Right.
So I want her to have a kitten. But she says she's a dog person and she doesn't like cats. And I said, well, you would like a kitten.
Kittens are basically dogs. It's when they grow up, they turn into cats.
What? Kittens are basically dogs? Can I quote you?
Yeah, because they haven't come into their catness yet.
That statement doesn't have much veracity.
Cats are not dogs, but kittens are pretty much dogs.
I beg to differ.
No.
Okay, well, that's how you wanted to answer that question. That's fine.
Baby things of most species are very similar. Okay. They're amusing. They're not that self-absorbed yet.
Okay, so I
don't. All right, what else?
I got something that was different. I got a Christmas present for somebody, and I got one for myself, which it was sort of like I was getting it for myself, and I thought, well, I shouldn't just get it for myself. I should get one for somebody else. And it's a Faraday bag.
I don't know what that is.
It's for your telephone. Not your telephone. It's for your cell phone. Cell phones aren't really telephones, are they? You know what I mean? If you say telephone,
no, they're just like little portable computers.
You don't call your cell phone your
tiny
telephone.
Portable laptop. It's a Palm Top. It's like Palm Pilot was actually a really good name, don't you think?
Yeah, I wish we could use that for something else. Like if you had some
that's
device
what we use
that
our phones for. It's
would lead you to
travel
God.
Around
no, listen.
Thing. What?
A Palm Pilot should lead you to God.
Right. That's like a gypsy fortune.
Okay, whatever. Listen, the bag for the cell phone. It's a bag, and it has a silver lining. It literally has a silver lining. Literally, it's the only bag that you're ever going to get that literally has a silver lining. And it blocks,
or
blocks
literally,
and it blocks all signals coming into the phone, and it blocks
so
all.
It keeps your liver from bubbling up with some sort of cancerous growth.
Right, it blocks the radiation coming off the phone as well, so you can really.
Okay, that's a good thing.
Yeah,
I like that's a good idea.
The company is Sparrow. Spero, Sparrow. And they're going to expand into clothing lines. Like in Europe, they have clothing lines to protect unborn children in a pregnant woman's stomach.
Oh, that's so smart.
Yeah, people that work in front of computers.
You can't go around wearing those heavy things like that they put
in the dentist's office
when you get an X-ray. Yeah, they put the giant lead apron on you. Imagine if your clothes were like that.
Yeah, that's such a weird, barbaric thing to
be
covered in a lead
post-apocalyptic
apron.
world, we're going to have to be dressing in like lead aprons probably to go get our groceries, which will be poison anyway.
Oh my God. And just think,
this is very Christmassy of us.
Well, here, let's change the topic to glitter, okay?
How do
you feel about the impending glitter ban?
I'm okay with it, but I love glittery things, but I don't like glitter.
Well,
there's alternatives to glitter.
I feel like some of us know how to use glitter responsibly, and we shouldn't be penalized by the people who are irresponsible with their glitter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do, but you can make glitter out of other things, and it's
like
fine.
What?
Like lots of things.
Like coffee grounds.
No. Have you ever seen like that shaly, like mica rocks and stuff that are really glittery? Like they found a way to make actual glitter out of stuff that's totally biodegradable. And if you want it like on your cookies and stuff, all you have to do is bake some sugar crystals with food coloring in the oven, and it turns into glitter.
I know.
I don't know how
I'm just being
but it's cool.
Cranky.
It turns into little mirrors if you bake sugar with food coloring.
But I use just small. When I use glitter, I use the smallest,
just a pinch.
Less than a pinch. Yeah. I just want like 3 or 4 pieces of glitter. Or glitter glue. It's not as bad.
I do use glitter glue when I craft with my Grammy. I just coated a little felt reindeer's antlers in glitter glue because the antlers weren't standing up by themselves, so I had to stiffen them.
That can't be as bad, glitter glue.
I would think
because it stays stuck in the glue, so it doesn't travel into places where it shouldn't go, like the ocean.
And the crease of your eye,
kill fish.
Which is really unfortunate when you get
glitter
in your eye.
Glitterati. That's
when you're talking to somebody, you see that they have a little piece of glitter stuck, on their face, and you want to scrape it off of them, but you don't know them enough to scrape glitter off of them.
But there's makeup remember we used to wear the glitter makeup?
Yes,
I liked that. I don't wear makeup, but I would sometimes wear glitter makeup.
I did in high school.
Just a little splash on my cheek or something.
I was rimmed with black eyeliner and I had black lipstick, and I always put I've had glitter that was little tiny stars. It wasn't just the little square glitters.
Oh, yeah.
And I would press the little glitter stars into my eyelids and on my lips, which was very difficult because I would have to wipe it off when lunchtime came and then reapply it after lunch because you can't eat with glitter stars on your lips. You have to be very careful not to lick your lips all day because then you would eat
I bet you ate some.
I'm sure that there are many glitter stars living in my gallbladder.
And it went into your septic system eventually, probably. Which is okay. I mean, a few glitter things in your leach field would be bad.
Is glitter plastic or is it metal? Because metal decomposes.
I think it's metal.
So metal would be not that bad, right? I mean, metal rusts, turns into goes back down to its elements of iron or whatever.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I feel like it must be plastic.
It doesn't
things
rust.
Are bad. Maybe it's metal coated in plastic. I think glitter is plastic, Christine.
Paul, help us.
Help us, Paul. Help us, Paul.
He'll figure it out.
We just need a little Paul in a pocket Paul that you can just pop out. If I had been looking at my phone this whole time, I could have probably seen the answers to these questions because you probably sent them to us.
I know. I didn't put Facebook onto my new phone,
right.
So I kind of can't get Facebook messages during the show anymore. People could text me, but
well, we gotta brainstorm about our new thing where we're gonna have you guys, our listeners, actually send us messages someplace, voice messages, and then we can reply to them on air. Because we can't answer the phone here. That doesn't work.
Yeah.
For us.
We can't we're not good at that type of multitasking.
Well, it's
we get
kind
flustered.
Of really difficult here anyway because I'd have to turn on this other microphone and we'd have to turn on a bunch of other channels, and then I'd have to remember how you push this thing to get it on speakerphone, which it doesn't just do the way you think it's going to do.
And now it's just set it and forget it. We're set up at the beginning of the show, and then we don't have to really remember about technology very much for the rest of the show. No. But if we got a phone call, it would send us into a tizzy.
It really
as it used
does.
to. It used to. Yeah, plus we hate the phone, but we don't hate phone messages.
We don't answer anymore in here anyway because the telemarketers have found the studio, and that's pretty much what 99% of the calls are. So sorry if you have an emergency because telemarketers have screwed everything up for you.
Yeah, but as I said, phone messages are fantastic.
They sure
I got one this morning.
Really?
And I was tempted to answer the phone because I love the person who was calling, Jeff. But he left me a great message. And that felt fantastic. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to... And Robert Resnick used to leave me the best. He used to sing me songs all the time when he called. And I so much wish I had recorded those.
He's so good at improv.
He improvises.
He was playing something at the fairgrounds one time, and I popped my head out of the one-room schoolhouse, and he immediately switched up his song and sang a song about me.
I know.
And it was so good.
He gets better and better. He's fantastic.
That is an art form.
Yeah. You know, we have to go.
Do we have to leave here?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, I guess.
Yeah, we got about 2.5 minutes. Okay. So did you want to say the sponsors? Because you're so good at it.
Well, where's the paper? We have different...
Can't you remember?
No, because they're different now.
You can.
No,
well, Safe Line.
They're different now.
There's Safe Line.
There's Safe Line.
There's 5 Old.
There's 5 Old.
There's Mountain Folk Concert Series.
I thought you said that one got taken off.
No.
Okay. And there's still Howville Farm.
Tunbridge Grease Collective got taken off.
Is that it, though? And Rivendell Restoration got
taken off.
So we still have Howville Farms. We still have 5 Old. We now have Safe Line. And we have Mountain Folk.
Yeah.
Okay. 4.
I think that's it.
I will try to remember 4.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So,
thanks, 4. Yeah. Fabulous 4.
Fabulous 4. And... yeah, you've been listening to us.
Oh, yeah, you have. Sorry. Go, say it. 11th Hour Radio, Christina, Emily. WFERLP 96.5, Royalton Community Radio.
All right, we're going to go out on a track of music by Lori Oz, who lives up north, not too far from Louis Franco, actually. And her song is called Down at the Chit Chat.
Sweet. And you guys can probably look forward to some creative efforts from Christina and I maybe this week if we get our acting gear and bake and create crap for Christmas.
Absolutely.
That'll happen.
And send out our Faraday bags.
It'll be a thing.
It's a thing. Okay, take care, everybody.
Have a great weekend.
Heading down to Half Moon Bay. There's a little place that's on the way. You know, all the kiddies love to play down at the Chit Chat Cafe. Folks there are just the coolest, so drop on by to hear some music. Jump in the Buick, let's go cruising. Don't waste time with excuses. If you wanna get your groove on, you better get yourself a move on. Hurry in if you're able. You better grab yourself a table, 'cause they'll be clapping and stomping and grooving to the beat down at the Chit Chat. Down at the Chit Chat. The Chit Chat's the place you gotta be. You can hear the music down the street. Get ready, get up on your feet. The joint is jumping. If you wanna get your groove on, yourself a move on. they move on. Hurry in if you're able. Better grab yourself a chair.